Hey everyone, in today's vlog we are going to talk about the Empress. Now the Empress, as per the Law of One series books where they channel the conscious collective raw higher intelligence, as per Ra, the Empress is also the mind complex. Now, if you watch my videos on the Magician, which is the mind complex, the first card, and it represents the matrix of the mind. Then we talked about the second card, which is the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is also a mind complex, and she is the energy of the potentiator. So she potentiates the matrix. You can watch the video. And this here is who we're talking about today, and this archetype is of the Empress. Now, I just want you to know, okay, and the Empress is the catalyst of the mind complex. Now, just remember that you can't move forward unless you experience him, the magician, the matrix of the mind. When you experience the matrix, you're going to potentiate the unconscious mind, which she represents. This is the potentiator of the mind complex, initiates whatever happens within the matrix. And it's really cool because when you unplug from that matrix, it's you. You can cloak yourself as this archetype and you look around, and I've experienced this, and you literally, like, I've also been doing this thing where I've been thinking like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half a day ahead of what happens in my life. So every day I kind of live 15 minutes in the future. And I have been, because I've unplugged from the matrix, I have been using this card, her energy, this archetype, to see the world, and it's crazy. I am attracting so much abundance, and everything just like lines up, and it happens the way that I think of it 15 minutes ahead of time. When I use her energy, it actually happens most of the time. I would say I'm pretty good at it. So 80% of the time I'm making my own future. I'm imagining it, and it unfolds right in front of me. It is so fun. Try it. It is so fun when you unplug. So she potentiates this guy. So all the cards that I'm going to talk about cannot be utilized. The archetype cannot be utilized unless you've done this. So first you have to experience the matrix, the mind complex of the matrix. Then whatever this matrix has is going to be influenced by the potentiator. She potentiates your actions, you can say. Now, then the third card, the Empress. Now, the Empress is a card of nurture. She is also the mind complex, and like I said, she is the catalyst. She is not only nurture to all mankind, to all humanity, kind of like Mother Nature is, but what I've noticed is that her nurture works way better when you nurture self first. When you use her power, her archetype, her energy, because she is still in the mind complex of the catalyst within the divine head. Remember, the sun, see this circle? And what did I say about circles? Circles to me just represent infinite intelligence. So God, unity consciousness, oneness. That's what circles represent. And she here is enveloped in the circle still. And for me, this represents the sun. And as I say that, the sun comes out and shines on my face. So here, to me, she represents the sun. Now, if you look at the Rider Way, they don't have the sun. What they do have, though, is a very clear sky. So this, to me, is because her Her mind complex, the brain, is still in the sun, yet the body sits on the box. The box represents the four, what are they called? What is that? The four, you know, fire, air, water, earth. I can't remember what it's called for the life of me. But that's what the square represents to me, okay? And then she's sitting on the box, but her head is still in the sky, in the sun, the logos, unity consciousness, and her feet are right below the moon. So she's not only connected, remember the bottom of her feet, our souls have so many receptors. That's why we earth, that's why we ground. That's why it's recommended if you need to really neutralize the cells in your body because you're having anxiety, take your shoes off and go walk on the grass. Take your shoes off and go walk in the dirt. Go on the sand, go in the ocean, walk through it. It will, without a pill, it will just detoxify the anxiety with positive ions that you pick up from the earth when you touch it with your bare feet. And she has her feet on the moon, and she is taking in that moon's positive energy of like almost the guardian. That's what the moon is acting as, and it is right below her feet. Now, if you look inside the box here, it's all shadowed. So for me, that's like our unconscious mind. And then you see eyes. I feel like those eyes they represent the third eye, and the third eye is always there, but it's gonna get taken away from the shadows, but it's always there. And in order to access your third eye, you have to access your own divinity. You have to have faith. This is also the third chakra, which is your solar plexus chakra. This chakra does represent the sun. It represents action. It represents doing. And it's funny, there's this bird. I don't understand this quite yet, but I will. And then I'll report back to you guys. But the bird is pointing at her, and then one hand is pointing down. And it's funny because there's a bird that's caged up in the first card. So I feel like that once you're out the matrix, the bird flies out of the cage. Once you've unplugged the matrix, the potentiator, she starts bringing you all the abundance that you've been waiting for, because now you're not running from your unconscious mind anymore. You've been through the shadow work. You've been through the ugly, the night of the dark soul. She is the night of the dark soul. Now you're feeling the grapes, like the abundance that you see on her dress. You're starting to access, and you're going up to this has a name, Ankh or a cross, I'm not sure. And this cross represents true life. Like it's the cross, so when it goes vertical, it represents this plane here, Earth, and this horizontal is our connection. Did I say that? Is that vertical and horizontal? That's the connection to the divine, connected through you, because it goes through your chakras to the soles of your feet, to the crystalline core of Mother Nature. So once you unplug from that, your head is back in the game. Your head is really out of the matrix, and now the bird looks at you out of the cage in freedom and asks you, what do you want? What do you want down there? One arm is down. Now that the third eye is accessed within the logos, what do you want? What do you feel like having? How are we gonna live? Once that's nurturing self, that is figuring out what your own creativity is. Once you access this Empress, like look how abundant this card is, man. Everything around her is green. She's got so much at her feet. Look at her dress. It's just full of, I don't know what that is. They look like fruit. It is a fruit, but it looks abundant. It looks so pretty. You access this, And look, she's got the same, is it Ankh, that in this card she has. Anyways, that is my interpretation of the Empress. Sorry, the Empress. And the thing though is the opposite side, if you don't access her and she comes up upside down in a reading, then that's huge amounts of neglect, huge. And this is neglect to self. And this neglect comes because you're still stuck in the matrix. You're not seeing outside of your fears, your worry. Therefore, she is bringing you more fear, more worry, because she's the potentiator. And this becomes neglect of self. When you're not paying attention to your needs, your desires, your wants, you can't have love for self. If you do not have love for self, you do not have love for others. You just don't. Look around you. What are you attracting? Because you know what I'm attracting these days? I'm attracting lots of laughs. I'm attracting people in yoga that are coming up to me and asking me for coffees. I'm attracting a lot outside of myself. I'm attracting a lot of love, a lot of love. I attract smiles at the grocery store. I attract little kids coming up to me and asking me about my nails. Like, I am attracting beauty. She represents, to me, I feel like the essence of a rose. You know, when you look at a rose, it's so beautiful. And this is when she's upright. It's got such beauty, and you think it's the physical rose. It is. It smells good. It looks good. It's made from sacred geometry, one cell germinated. She also represents the number 3, which is the Holy Trinity. Once you get to her and you unplug from everything, the matrix especially, you experience that Holy Trinity. But it's like, see how you have the logos around her, the sun around her, the energy of divine intelligence? That's how I see roses. Like, I see roses kind of like, I love them so much. And when you put them in your house just smells good. It feels beautiful. There's this like luxury and elegance to a bouquet of roses when you get it. It doesn't only represent love, but there's this beautiful essence. That's the aura of the roses that you're feeling. That's what that is. And she represents that aura to me. And we all have that same aura inside and outside of us. We resonate it too once we unplug. Love you guys. Bye.